Hi, and welcome to your 30-minute chair yoga practice. My name is Alicia, and I'm happy to be here with you today. For the practice, you'll need a sturdy chair, maybe a yoga mat, or just somewhere that your chair won't slide around. And we'll do some deep breaths, we'll stretch out through the body, and we'll move, and you'll be ready to take on whatever is next. When you sit in your chair, knees should be about in line with the hips, maybe a little lower than the hips. So if the knees are too high, you'll want to sit on something. And if the knees are too low, you could put something underneath your feet. We'll come towards the front edge of the chair, and we'll take a moment to sit up tall. Maybe close the eyes or focus the eyes slightly downward. Notice how your body is feeling. Notice how your breath is moving. And maybe notice something that you want to let go of, maybe something that happened already today. And also noticing and naming something that you want to bring in. So maybe the opposite of whatever it was that you're letting go of. Take another deep breath here. And now we're going to move some of the joints. We'll get some movement in the joints. Might be some sounds that accompany that movement, and that's okay. So we're going to start with the head, rolling the head across the front of the chest from one ear to the other. And then forward again across the chest back to the other side. You don't have to go to your maximum range of motion. So let the head be light. Roll a few more times from side to side. The next time your chin comes down towards the chest, let it stay there a moment. Re-lengthen up through your spine and your neck. Take another breath here. Lift the chin, bring the head back up onto the spine, and then we'll lean the right ear over towards the right shoulder. You can let the left arm hang heavy next to you and reach the fingertips towards the floor. That gives a little extra stretch into the left side if you need it or want it. You can always choose not to take it. And bring your head back up to center and lean head to the left. Right arm can hang and reach for the floor next to you. And we'll take a few breaths here. Coming back up to center, bringing your shoulders up towards your ears, rolling them back behind you a few times. You can make them big circles, maybe smaller circles feel better, so feel free to choose the size of your circles based on how it feels. Slow, deep breath as we go. You could even close your eyes here and really focus on what's happening in your shoulders. We'll roll the shoulders forward a few times, but we spend a lot of time with the shoulders rolled forward, so we won't do that quite as long as we did the rolling back. One more circle forward, and then coming back to center. We're going to take the whole arms now. Arms come forward, and we'll bring them up, back, and around. And we'll do that a few times. And you could rotate your arms in their sockets, turning the palms this way and that, seeing where are you getting a good stretch, what's working for you. Couple more circles in this direction. And again, these might be smaller circles or medium-sized circles based on how your body feels. One more time, this direction. And then let's go in the other direction. Again, you can experiment Small circles, maybe not as much range of motion available to you, so make the circles work for you. Perhaps they're closer to the floor. And one more circle in this direction. And coming back to center, give a little shimmy to your shoulders, let your head bobble. And we'll make a loose fist. Thumbs can be on the outside, rolling your wrists in one direction for a few repetitions. And then rolling in the other direction for a few repetitions. Take your arms out to the sides for the moment. Palms are facing down, and you can line up your arms shoulder height or maybe a little lower. And then we're going to lift the fingertips, press out through the heels of the hands, stretch through your wrists, take a deep breath. And then point the fingertips down, and we're reaching through the lower arm bone, and take another deep breath. We're going to point the fingertips up again, reach out through the heel of the hand. And point the fingers down, reach through the arm bones. Release your arms and give them a wiggle and a shake. Hands coming onto your thighs now. Moving through your spine, we're going to rock the pelvis forward, roll, lift the chest, arch the spine. That could be an inhale. Exhale, we're going to tuck the pelvis back, round the spine, and round through the shoulders. That could be your exhale. We'll inhale, take the pelvis forward. So we'll move from the tailbone, move from the pelvis, and then lift the chest. And then roll the pelvis back, round through your spine, tuck yourself in a moment. We'll do a few more repetitions here, letting the spine arch and round. And you don't have to do this to any extreme, so paying attention to how it feels in your back, maybe taking it a little smaller for some repetitions. Maybe after we've created some space, we could take it a little bigger. One more time, arching and then rounding. And coming back to center. Now we're going to take the torso in some circles, so you lean over to one side, roll yourself forward, come to the other side, roll yourself back a little bit. And just as the other circles, these could be adjusted to help with how you're feeling. So make them smaller, make them bigger. Hands can hold on to the kneecaps and give us a little bit of resistance and help to a little bit of push and pull. Slow, deep breaths as we go. And now we'll circle in the other direction. Come on back to center. Sit up nice and tall. We'll take the right arm out to the side and up alongside of the ear. From here, we're going to lean over to the left. Left hand could stay right where it is, or it could reach again towards the floor. And you could look down towards the left hand if that works for your neck. A few breaths here, long shape, and then a side bend. And coming back to center, pause here a moment, hands on the thighs. Left arm goes out to the side and up. Get a long shape here, lean a little to the right. The right hand could stay steadying you, or the right arm could lean down or reach down towards the floor. And we'll have a few breaths here. You could also turn and look towards your right hand. back up to center, hands onto the thighs. And we'll pause a moment here. You could take the eyes downward or close them for a moment. Noticing how your body is feeling. We've been doing a lot of stretching in the upper body, so we've moved some things around. Hopefully gotten some loosening happening. And now we'll see about stretching the lower body a little bit. We're going to slide the hands forward, bring the forearms onto the thighs. Press with your forearms to lift your torso up and stay long through your spine. Feet are about hip distance apart and ankles under the knees, so you might need to adjust your feet a little bit. Take a slow, deep breath here. Great place to stay, pressing forearms and lengthening spine. If you want to fold a little deeper, you could let the arms come down to the insides of the legs, let the torso lean out, belly comes towards the thighs, and the head and neck relax. If that doesn't work, forearms back up to the thighs and stay there for a few breaths. If you're leaning all the way over, slowly slide back up to bring the forearms to the thighs. Press there, lengthen your spine, take a deep breath. And then we'll press the hands into the thighs to help the torso to come up. Even if it doesn't need it, it's nice to give some help. Sitting tall into your spine, take a deep breath. We're going to bring the right leg in. You could hold underneath the thigh. You could hold on to the knee or the shin. We're going to still stay upright in the spine. You might lean back just a little bit. If this is difficult to do, you might get a strap. Take a strap underneath the thigh or underneath the foot. Could be a belt, could be a scarf, anything that helps you to get hold of that leg. Sitting tall, take another deep breath. Lift the back of your skull up and slightly back. And then we'll round the spine a little bit. Bring yourself closer to that bent knee. Back upright. I'm going to keep hold of that right leg. We're going to see about taking it a little bit out to the right and then back in. We're going to do that a couple of times, stretching out to the right to whatever extent your body will reasonably allow, and then bringing it back in. Another 2 times, opening out and coming back in. And then this last time, opening out and coming back in. Bring that leg back down to the floor. Hands press a little bit into the thighs. Shoulders can come up towards the ears. Take a breath here. And then let your shoulders come down. And we'll work with the left leg. So bringing the left leg up. Left leg might behave a little differently or a lot differently than the right leg. Could hold on under the thigh, the kneecap or the shin, or with a strap. We're going to hug that leg in and sit up tall into your spine and have a couple of breaths. And again, you might even close your eyes just to turn yourself inward. You could take the eyes downward, not really looking at anything. I'm going to take another breath here, get long through the spine. And then we'll round, curling ourselves over towards that bent knee. Coming back up and somehow keeping hold of this left leg and letting it open. And maybe the first time it only goes a little ways, we bring it back in. Maybe the second time it makes a little more space. We'll bring it back in. And then we'll do that a few more times. So letting the leg open to the side and come back in 2 more times. Out to the side and back in. And then this one last time, out to the side and back in. Foot comes back down to the floor. We're going to slide the arms forward, forearms to the thighs to begin. Press down into your forearms, lengthen through your spine. Either stay here or coming forward into that deeper forward bend. It's up to you, whatever works best. A few breaths here. Bringing your forearms back up to your thighs. Press with your hands. Coming on back up. We're going to extend the right leg or lift the right leg in some way to roll the right foot. So right foot goes around in a circle, and maybe it doesn't feel like it wants to go in a circle. So keep trying to see what you can do with the range of motion in your ankle. A few more times in this direction, and we're still sitting up tall into the torso. And then we're going to roll that foot in the other direction. And now we'll put that foot down and move to the left foot. So the left foot starts to roll around a few times. And maybe these first few circles are a little bit tight, a little bit clunky, and maybe they get smoother, maybe they don't. Still sitting tall into your spine, a few more times in this direction. And now in the other direction. We're going to put that foot back down, slide the hands forward, forearms onto the thighs, and if you like, going further into that forward bend. Another breath or two here. Hands press to the thighs, and we slowly come up. We're going to take both arms out to the sides, reach up, and bring the arms back down. You might inhale as you take the arms up, and arms don't have to come all the way up. They come up to wherever they come up to, and then back down, exhaling. A few more times, reaching the arms and bringing them up, and back down, exhaling. Another time or two here. One more time, arms going out to the sides and coming back up. And then back down. Hands rest on the thighs. We'll take a little moment to check in. Eyes could be cast downward. Eyes could be closed. And just noticing how upper body and lower body have all gotten a little bit of movement now. So maybe you're feeling a little lighter, a little more open, maybe a little more energy and blood flow. I'm going to do a little bit of shaking of the body now. So you can do this to the extent that you're feeling comfortable. So not too much, not too little. We'll start with the hands. So giving the hands a shake, imagining that you've got some water or something you're trying to get off, and then get the arms to shake too. And it might feel silly at first, but when we're done, we'll see how we feel. Let the shoulders shimmy, let the head bobble, let the upper body move. Give a shake to the arms and keep the arms moving and start to shake one leg. So one foot, one leg gets a shake, and maybe you're smiling and breathing as we go nice and deep. And then shake the other leg and keep shaking. Maybe the shoulders keep shimmying and head keeps bobbling, and one more moment of shaking. And then stop. Come to stillness. Eyes can close, hands on the thighs. Just sitting tall into your chair, take a deep breath. We're going to extend both of the legs forward, resting on the heels, and you can come to the edge of the chair, but where you still feel stable, and we'll hold on to the sides of the chair, or maybe reach back a little bit and find some other part of the chair to hold on to. We're going to hold on to that piece of chair, whatever it may be, lift up through the spine. Reach through your heels, press the heels into the floor, draw the toes back towards you, and then start to lean forward. And for some of us, this teeny tiny lean forward is plenty. Keep holding on to the chair. Maybe you slide your hands a little forward so you take another piece of the chair. Torso comes a little more forward. Deep breath. If everything is feeling stable and you want a deeper stretch, hands can start to slide down the fronts of your legs. You might round a little bit through your spine, take the chin down slightly, and we'll take a couple of breaths here. Stretching through the backs of the legs. You can think about staying long through the spine as best as you can, and then that little bit of rounding at the end. And then just as we came in, we'll carefully go out. So making the movements in reverse, lifting up through the torso, bringing one leg and then the other back underneath us, reset seat in the chair, and sit up tall. Take a moment, deep breath. We're going to stand up for a moment, a couple of things standing. So we'll stand and move the chair, or you could also be using a counter or another piece of furniture. It depends on what you have there. I've got my chair so that the seat faces away and I've got access to the back of the chair. I'm going to place my hands onto the chair back and walk my feet back. And then reach back through the hips, stretch long forward through your spine. You could come down a little, you could come down a lot. And let the hands be free and loose, so not grasping with all of your might onto the chair. You can bend your knees a little, could bend your knees a lot, and that will help to lengthen through your spine. Head stays right between the arms. And we'll take a couple of breaths here. We're going to come up just part of the way, stepping the right leg forward, bending your right knee, bringing the torso upright, keep hold of the chair. The back heel can lift, but keep pressing it towards the floor and you'll get a calf stretch in the back leg. Another breath or two or three here. And we'll bring that front leg back, and it might take a couple of steps, so let it do what it needs to do. Stretch your hips back, stretch your spine forward, get long in a variation here of downward facing dog. Come up a little bit, step your left leg forward, and it might take a step or two. Bend your left knee, lift your torso, lift your gaze a little bit. Looking up. Back heel is lifted, but we're pressing it down and back and getting a calf stretch and taking a couple of breaths. We're going to step back again. Reach the hips back. Lengthen through your spine. Another breath or two here. Bend your knees. Start to walk towards the chair. And we'll stand up. Nice and tall. Deep breath. Shoulders roll back slightly. Neck lengthens. And then we'll come back to sit in the chair. This is the final piece, the relaxation piece of our time together. So if you had access to lie down somewhere or sit in a comfier chair, you may do that. You might slide yourself back and kind of lean back into the back of the chair. Hands could rest on the thighs. Legs could even be stretched out a bit in a relaxed way. Eyes could be cast downward or closed. Wherever you are, Make yourself comfortable. Take a slow, deep breath in and hold that breath for just a moment. And then let that breath out. Take another slow, deep breath in and hold that breath a moment. And let it out. We're going to do that one more time. This time, breath in through the nose. Hold that breath a moment. And now open your mouth and exhale. Let your breath go. It'll move without your effort. Let your body relax. Even in a chair, you can find some way to turn off some muscles, to soften, to be in a relaxed state. Notice the rising and falling of your breath. Maybe notice some opening in your body or some release of tension from how we moved and stretched. Maybe notice that your mind is a little calmer, your breath is a little deeper, and overall, maybe just feeling a little different than you did when we started. Another few moments of resting wherever we are. And now taking some deeper breaths, a longer inhale, maybe a sigh or a yawn. Longer exhale. Start to move your fingers and toes. Give a stretch out through your arms and your legs. You might stay where you are if you're not sitting, or come back up to sit. We'll bring ourselves back out towards the front of the chair. Hands rest on the thighs. Lengthen up through the spine and the neck. Eyes could be cast downward or closed. And just taking a few moments of centering, bringing yourself, all the pieces of yourself back together, centering right here in our practice, in our breath, and in our bodies. And take a moment to feel gratitude that you took this time to move your body, gratitude for the breath and the stretching, gratitude for the traditions of yoga, and gratitude for this opportunity for us to practice together. Take another deep breath in. You can lift your head back up, blink your eyes a few times. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I hope to see you again soon. Come on and practice. Take care.